Hello and welcome to the session where we'll be looking at the registration advisor. So this is at two levels, course registration and program registration. So in the course registration, we want to check our coursework, our modules, to see whether a student has met the prerequisites for that course. So this component is integrated into a couple of different places. So in ClassView Connect, you'll find it under registration. It's not there yet, but it may also be in the program analyst. So in whichever component you are accessing the registration advisor, look for the registration section and you'll find this accordion. So you can see up here, we've got course registrations. So there are two accordion sections for that, and there's program registration, another two accordion sections for that. So looking at course registration, if we open up this part of the accordion, you can see we can enter our course code and the year. So we want first to load all the students who are registered for this course in this year. So for example, if this is the present year, we want to know, first of all, who's registered for this course before we can test whether they meet the prerequisites. So we click on load students. So that's taken us now to this section here. So we can see our list of student numbers right here. And we now want to check whether those students have already passed these courses. So we can set the minimum mark. So we want to say that the students must have passed these two courses with this minimum mark. So we include the courses we want to test simply by using a comma separated list. So you can see here, I'm just checking against two courses. So this is not really the case, but I'm just simulating the case where these two courses are the prerequisites to the course of interest. So this was the course of interest. We want to know whether the students are allowed to register for this course. So we enter the two courses of interest here and we set the minimum mark there, and then we click filter. So it's gone and checked all those students now, and it's telling us that yes, in some cases you have met, so the student hasn't met both criteria, but these students have met this criterion, and it seems many students don't have results for this one. So it gives us the list of students who from this original list don't make it. So this list in red tells us everyone who hasn't made the criteria and the reasons for that. And down here, you get this in the table form. So you can browse through your students and see what the report is, the overall status. So we can sort by status if we click here. So we can see there are a bunch of students who have made it. So the student, for instance, has satisfied this criterion and this criterion. So they are fine with their registration for that class. And then we can look out here for the ones who don't seem to have made it for that. So this is intended to be just a quick check. You just put in your course of interest here and the year, and then you set the prerequisite codes here. And just for information, what this will do is check for the maximum mark that's available for each of these students for each of these courses. So sometimes we have multiple marks available. For instance, if the student has tried these courses multiple times and maybe there are sub results and so on. So it's just going to look up the highest mark available among the courses listed here. And as long as the mark in those courses is over that value, then that would be marked as true. So that's how that check gets done. So that's at the coursework level. If you also want to check at the entire program level, again, we can enter the program code here and we can set the year. So we are choosing the cohort. Basically, it's not quite a cohort. It's just all students who are registered for this program in a particular year. So we want to get all those students. So it's a fair bit longer list because of how many students could be in that program. And then we need to click Get Results. So we won't see any outcome from that. It will just keep all the students' results in memory. So we just click Get Results, and once that's done, it pushes us into this Evaluate Registration. So here we want to set the logic that tells us what we're looking for. And let's see, let's take a few courses. I'm just going to look up here at what we use. So let's say we want to test against this course. Well, okay, so you have to set your criteria here. So you can see a bit of logic. You can see here there's an and attribute, and in that we can list a bunch of criteria. And then, and so according to this criterion, the student must have at least a minimum mark of 50% in this course and this course and this course, or they can have a minimum mark in either of these courses. And so this or is nested within this and. So you can have as deeply nested logic as you like, and the system will evaluate that. So from that list of students, it's giving us if you click on any of these, you can get the list of courses here. So in fact, let's use some of these course codes. Let's adjust our logic here. So let's use this course, and let's say we just want the student to have passed these two things. So we would say use the and. So we want these two criteria fulfilled, and we're not worried about anything else. Let's simplify and forget about the or as well. So that's it. That's our criterion. We are saying the student must satisfy at least a 50% in this class and at least a 50% in this class. So if we say evaluate, now we can see some trues appearing here. So if we click on that, we can see the result is true, all criteria are met, and it's showing us the other information available for that student. So I know this is a little bit unattractive, that you do have to do a bit of logic editing, but it's quite powerful. Once you are able to do this, you can create some very sophisticated queries about the students. And just to say, besides and or, there's also any n off. So sometimes you have a long list of criteria and you want to satisfy a certain minimum set of them. And then you also have, instead of min val, you can set max val. You can basically use any data that you have to do this evaluation. And you'll get a little report here that tells you about the overall status and then the reasons for it being true or false. So that's what you can do at the program level. So you can see this is in a sense, the most comprehensive way to do things. But for your simple course registration checks, you can use this form where you just choose your course and you enter your comma-separated list of course codes here, and it will tell you whether that student should continue being registered for that class. Thanks for listening.